Get up close and personal with some shrines, awesome. You're right. So, first, I'm starting up here on Resurrection Tower, and it's really tall. I don't know if you can tell, but it's really tall. But that's great because it gives me a good vantage point for the entire Great Plateau, which is pretty, but that's not what we're here to look at. We're here to get some shrines. So, while I'm up here, I'm going to actually, pull out my Sheikah Slate and my scope and try and place some pins so I know exactly where I'm going to go. This is going to be super handy because this is just the starting area, but it's huge. And I tend to wander. I'm a known wanderer, so I need these pins to kind of help get me back on track whenever I go after some bokoblins that I probably shouldn't have.
So I wonder if we could pop into the map for a second and just show folks exactly what the distance is between these two shrines.
Yeah, so those two shrines, I'm up here, so I made them look pretty close together, but they're actually pretty far apart. So those pins are going to come in handy. There's my first shrine, and I'm not supposed to have this yet, but whee! I do. So I'm going to jump using my handy paraglider. I'm going to soar to the ground and head off to my first shrine.
It's so satisfying to use
so
the paraglider.
Satisfying. I'm going to try and not run out of stamina. That would be kind of bad. Let's do this, Link. We're ready. Come on. I can make it. Almost. Okay, that's pretty close, though. Nice. That's pretty good. Now, we're going to go and see what this shrine is all about.
So I wonder, can we chat a little bit more about what the significance of the shrines is as far as why folks would want to hunt these out?
That's right. So I don't want to give too much away, but basically, if you beat the challenges in the first 4 shrines, you'll get something, which we'll see when we get in at the end of this shrine, and you can exchange that for the paraglider, which I already have because I just wanted to play around with it, but
highly worthwhile.
Normally you're going to have to actually go through the trials to get it. And in the game at large, again, I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone, but it plays a larger part in the other game, in the full game. Now we're finally entering the shrine. I used my Sheikah Slate. It verified that I am the hero, so I'm going to be able to get inside here.
And worth mentioning, too, you just mentioned 4 shrines that have a special significance, but there are actually over 100 shrines in this world. There are loads of them to find and loads more goodies to uncover,
so many shrines, and dungeons, and there's just a lot to do in this game. We're just going to take a look at the first couple here, but there's a lot.
It's interesting actually thinking about how people might approach playing this game when they first head out in the plateau, depending on which direction they head, what they end up doing. These might not be the first 2 that folks run into when they're playing the game, but these are definitely 2 that give you a really nice introduction to what the shrines are all about.
It's just like you said, we're calling them the first 2 shrines. That's because they're the first 2 you probably should go to, but this game is really all about freedom and exploration. You can do anything pretty much in any order that you want, but
actually, can we take a look kind of like up and around, because it's such a cool
this is a really cool looking place.
It is really pretty.
All kinds of shiny lights.
Actually, the entry to our booth looks just like this.
Oh,
it's
the
so
booth is
cool
gorgeous.
to see it recreated.
Yeah, it's really cool what they did with the constellation motif.
Looks like some metal slabs on the floor that I can't do anything with just yet, but anybody who's been playing Zelda knows if you see something that looks like you should be able to interact with it yet, but you can't, you wait. You just wait. Now, what I just did is I found this little platform here, and I put my Sheikah Slate in it, and that's going to actually update my Sheikah Slate with a brand new rune ability. Rune abilities allow Link to do all kinds of different cool things, not just in shrines, not just in dungeons, but all around the world. You can solve puzzles, you can find treasure chests, you can do all kinds of things. This one here we just got is the Magnesis rune, and just like it probably sounds, it's going to let us actually have a magnet-like ability. We're going to be able to pick up and interact with metal objects. So we're going to have some fun with this.
I gotta say, after seeing this, updating my devices feels kind of lackluster, honestly. Agreeing to a terms of service agreement just doesn't have the same flair as that.
Why don't you let me do stuff?
It's like the Sheikah Slate allowed you to entry into here. Now you got all these special powers on it too. It's like the multi-passes of multi-passes.
Yeah, so I want to be able to put my phone down and just have this magic Sheikah update process happen.
As you can see here, I've activated the ability using L, and I can kind of see the things that highlight as yellow. Those are things that I can interact with. So those big metal slates that I couldn't do anything with, boom, now I'm just throwing them around like they're nothing. The power. Link is drunk with power. Or maybe that's just me. So I got those out of the way. now, boom, I can actually enter this shrine and see what's going on. Yes. Let's see what kind of mayhem we can do with this. And this is just, again, we've already looked around, but this is a really cool looking shrine. It's just really, really particular. Oh, and see, I can't get past this big wall of stones, but luckily one of them is made of metal, so it stands no chance against me and my Magnesis rune.
So, can you talk a bit more about how it is that you're controlling this power?
So I'm using, like I said, I activated the ability with L, and I can actually use the control stick to move the thing that I've grabbed around. And I'm gonna use this metal block to block this guy's attack. This guy's actually really powerful. He could do some real damage to me.
Ooh,
and so I can actually, oh no, I need you. I'm not done with you. I'm gonna push you in the water. Yeah, you don't like that, do you? I'm gonna drop that on your face. That's what I think of him.
It's
Ooh,
interesting
he dropped some goodies.
It's interesting that that's one way you could deal with that enemy, but other players might find different ways too. It's really interesting to see how you tackle the different puzzles.
And that's what this game is all about. The way I play is not the way that anybody else that I've seen play is going to play, really. It's just all about choice and freedom. So, again, we've walked across this metal slate here, but that's not going to help me get across this big, big gap. So, we're going to have to use our puzzle-solving abilities. And again, I'm going to lift up this metal slate and create a little bridge for myself. Oh, gently, gently, boom. Now we can get across. And look at that. That's a shiny, shiny treasure chest. We're not just going to pass that by.
Oh,
no,
nice.
no. Come to me, treasure. Come to me.
You honestly could have even grabbed that and then used that to shove that poor enemy over.
You can just cause all kinds of mayhem with the Magnesis rune. It's pretty great. Yay, got a bow.
And actually, one thing that folks might have been wondering when we solved that puzzle to get across that gap is maybe why we didn't just climb that wall. Why is that a problem for us? But the structure of the shrines makes climbing around a little tricky.
That's true. They knew that we would be trying climbing everything. So a lot of these walls are really smooth, so Link can't actually climb up them. That's why he's going to have to, hey, I told you to open, stay open. Don't make me get mad. Okay, so we finally made it to the end of this dungeon, and look, it's a mysterious dude. Let's talk to him. Let's see what he's got to say. And you may have noticed there was a mysterious voice speaking to us at the beginning of the shrine. That was him. He set up this trial, and he's been watching me cause mayhem with this rune this whole time. So
he just saw you steal his treasure.
He did. He's
Hopefully
okay
he's
with
cool
it, though.
about.
Yeah.
He just raided it home, his home, like opened everything, destroyed everying.
Broke his pet robot thing.
Yeah, right?
So
Who's the guardian?
sorry. He's just been waiting for someone to cause mayhem. It's so lonely in here.
Although, to be fair, he looks like he's been waiting a really long time.
A very long time.
Probably any
Skin
entertainment
is-
at that point is worth
He looks
it.
gorgeous, though. He clearly moisturizes. Let's be real. But now he's telling me that he's the one who set up this trial, basically, and to reward me for solving it, not only do I get this cool Magnesis rune, he's actually going to give me a spirit orb. The spirit orb, if I collect 4 of them, it's what I can exchange to the old man for the paraglider, which I already have, bwahaha. But, as I said, you collect them throughout the game from all of the other shrines, and they serve a different purpose in the full game. So, Kaylee.
Link looked a little bit
cool.
untrustworthy. He's like, what is this?
It's
I'm
not
so
every day.
sure.
Not every day you have a spirit orb absorbed into you.
Seriously, I'm impressed with how this guy has this pose mastered. He's seriously dedicated in his yoga stance.
He's very, very flexible.
I think the work that the developers did to really build the atmosphere in the shrines is amazing. There's just such a, especially when you go into them, you kind of feel it.
Oh yeah, it feels very mystical and very magical.
And now we get to
You
go
never know what's
outside
gonna
and
happen.
cause some mayhem with the Magnesis rune.
You know me so well, Sam.
Well, now we've got it. We should try it out. And see what
It's
it's all about.
truly.
It would be a disservice to the Magnesis room to not cause intense mayhem to everyone who crosses our path.
Seems fair.
So let's do just that. All right, so now I've exited the shrine, but I'm a new Link. I've got new abilities.
So these boxes actually look really similar to a segment that Chico just did, and before she couldn't open it, but Audrey is actually has the skill now to check out what's inside.
Yeah, and I can see all these different things that I can interact with in the world. As we've mentioned earlier, these abilities are not just for shrines, they are for the whole game. Shrines, dungeons, the world at large. Treasure. They are for treasure. So I fished out one treasure chest. I'm just going treasure fishing, you know, doing what I do. Oh yeah.
I like this type of fishing.
Ooh, it's the best type of fishing, really.
It's so interesting thinking earlier on you might have walked by this little patch of water and really thought nothing of it. And it's only when you have this rune and you activate it and you actually take a look down the bottom that you realize there's stuff hidden all over the place.
It's a whole new way to look at the world.
Yeah.
And now, you're not treasure. Get out of my face. I don't need you.
Oh.
That was cruel. I'm sorry.
And it's actually interesting. It looks really decorative, like it was maybe a piece of architecture at one point.
It's pretty. I was harsh on it.
I love the art style in this game. It's kind of watercolory, but there's all this intricate detail as well. It's just so gorgeous.
It's really, really beautiful, and everything is so alive. So I should probably head on to the next shrine, but first I'm gonna grab a toy. I could grab one of these boxes, but I have a little friend here.
Oh, actually, should we open up the boxes?
Ooh,
Maybe see if there's anything worth
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay, you've convinced me. Whatcha?
Smashy, smashy.
Ooh, treasure. See,
That could become
nice.
handy.
Prime steak. See, Sam was right, as she often is. So,
Well, actually, Teresa had mentioned that earlier, and I felt bad that we weren't able to show this off during that earlier
yay.
segment because there was one just
Now
right
we
there.
actually get to show the skill. It's really cool.
You're
So
right.
again, it's like anything in the environment is interactable, and it's just so much fun, and it's so gratifying to just explore every nook and cranny and just try everything.
and break junk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it's really interesting comparing notes with people. And there's so many times you're like, oh, you found this thing? And they're like, what thing? You're like, oh. Now we got to talk about what we found in the weird little nooks and crannies of the world because it's so easy to miss things. But then hopefully somebody else will hook you up with the information about where to go.
Everyone's going to play a little differently. But, hello, old friend. This is my good friend, Boldy.
Oh no.
I'm going to
looks
use good old
dangerous.
Boldy.
I think I know where this is going.
Oh, yes. We're going to cause some mayhem. Luckily, as you can see, I told you I have a tendency to wander, and good thing I have that pin on this map, because otherwise I would just run around killing things and breaking things for all eternity. But I kind of have a kingdom to save, so that maybe is not the best idea. So, instead, I'm going to grab Boldy here. Oh, hello, friends. I'm going to go say hi to my friends over there.
They look like they're having a nice, peaceful conversation
Buddies.
down there.
Oh, y'all are so peaceful and cute. Wow. Now
Oh
you're
my God.
dead. Oh
no.
I deserved that. That's the worst part. You know
Boldy,
what?
save you.
He
Oh,
managed
you know,
to
maybe I'm just gonna use my weapon. you let
That
me
works
down,
too.
Boldy. It's over between us.
Aw. And so the adventures end.
It's over.
Between Blink and Boldy. So sad.
I just gotta go on my way, Boldy. You go your way.
It's interesting, though, thinking of how you make this game your own. If you wanted to, you really could carry that boulder with you on all of your adventures. It could be a beautiful buddy comedy.
Boulder and me.
But I mean, if that's how you want to play, that's how you get to play.
That might be how I play the game. We'll see. Ooh. Hello, guys.
Oh.
Oh, there's a lot of
Should I mess
firepower.
with them?
I mean, we're here.
Oh, okay, we are here. Okay, maybe I'll go steal. No, I have a mission. I have a mission, darn it. I'm gonna go towards it. See, there's so many ways to distract yourself in this game. Things to collect, things to kill. I feel really bad about harping on bokoblins, but they just happen to be the enemy in the Great Plateau area, so they get a lot of my anger. But it's nothing personal.
I feel
I'm
like
sure
we're
they're
gonna
fine
have-
fellows.
We might be receiving letters from the Save the Bokoblin group or something after
It's
this.
true. I'm sorry, I promised to mess with a whole bunch of other different kinds of enemies.
Yeah, there are so
Later in the
many.
game.
Equal opportunity.
Yes.
Well, there are so many other enemies and monsters to find. We just happen to be in Bokoblin heavy territory, but
Yes. It's not just the goblins that you get to.
we can leave them alone for a little bit.
Yes.
Give them a bit of a break.
Alright, so now I've made my way to the second shrine, and I'm in kind of this big labyrinth. And as you can see, there are a lot of suspicious looking rocks around. Oh,
Oh, hello.
hello. Hello there. Alright, now one of them has come alive. And I will tell you, yes,
That's not a good
from
light.
experience, that guy is really powerful, and he will he will make me have a bad day if I let him. So I'm gonna have this tasty snack that I cooked up earlier, and what that's gonna do is give me a few extra hearts. So one of the great things about this game is that there are numerous ways to go about everything. I tend to go for the stupidest way possible.
It's not stupid.
Solve everything.
It's challenging.
It's what I do.
You're not a gamer if you don't try to make it difficult on yourself.
Okay, it's okay. Now I'm trying to use this guy's firepower to break the boulder here, and without killing myself, which is actually... Oh, I need food.
It did hit the wall, though.
Suddenly.
I think the rocks are gone.
The rocks are gone. It's okay.
And everything's on fire.
I'm not scared. I'm just hurrying. I'm in a hurry. So, the, shall we say, well, the smarter way to do that would have been to sneak around and climb up that wall. That would have been a bit safer, but hey, gotta live life on the edge, right? So let's get safely into the shrine, away from that very angry guardian. A fun thing to note is that there are other guardians like him around who will wake up and give you trouble. You actually can defeat them. The thing about this game is, to some extent, you can set your own difficulty level. So you could actually try and defeat that guy, and maybe you'll be able to, but it's probably a better idea to go get more hearts, get better equipment. But it's really your choice if you want to try and tackle the more difficult enemies or wait until you're better prepared. So it's kind of up to you.
Yeah, I kind of made the mistake when I first started playing of just feeling so like carried by the spirit of adventure that I had my stick and I ran off into the distance, and I ran into those when I was not at all prepared. It didn't go well.
I think we all did that.
I learned a lesson.
It's a mistake.
A very valuable life lesson.
Learn from our mistake, people. Okay, we hear another mysterious voice. Dude, we know we're gonna do the thing and get the thing. Don't worry about it.
Because Link wants the thing.
He wants it. He does. So, here's another really cool shrine. And this one is gonna give us the bomb rune. As you might imagine, it lets us blow stuff up. It's gonna be pretty cool.
I like it.
As you've noticed with these first two shrines, they give you they're kind of shorter. They give you a primer on these runes, just give you the basic idea of different ways you can use them to interact with the world. As you progress in the game, it's going to get a lot more complicated, the puzzles you solve and the things you do using these different runes. So enjoy the simplicity of these first shrines, trust me. We've got our bombs. And we've got two different kinds of bombs here. We've got a cubic bomb and a spherical bomb, and we're going to use those for different things. So I pulled out a spherical bomb here, and we're on a flat surface, so it doesn't make much of a difference, but that's actually going to roll. And that's going to open up some possibilities, which we're going to show off in a bit.
It's interesting, just drawing folks' attention to the fact that you were able to detonate that whenever you were ready. So it gives you a lot of control, especially over the spherical bombs, where you're maybe rolling them down a surface and you want to make sure they detonate at just the right moment. You can be really precise about how you're handling the detonations.
That's true.
And there's no limit to the number of bombs you have. You just have that gauge that you just have to wait to refresh, but the bombs are limitless.
Gives you a lot of chance to experiment.
Exactly.
That's very true. And I just got a treasure chest using my handy bomb. It's so satisfying placing them. Just make sure that you're at a good distance when you detonate it, because, you know, fun fact, Link can explode. You probably don't want that.
Yeah, probably not. So. Especially after that encounter with the Guardian. That's very similar to the BMOs of past games.
So might be a little low on food now.
Now we're on a moving platform here, and I don't think my spherical bomb's gonna do so well here, so I actually changed to a cubic bomb, and I'm gonna just get out of the way here, probably because I want that to blow up that wall, and I don't want to be anywhere near it when that happens. Boom. See, now, you know what, I better eat some food. Link is peckish.
It's interesting looking at the two shrines that we're checking out here. They're fairly puzzle focused, but that's not always going to be the case when you're into shrines. You might find some that are more combat focused, some that are small, some that are much larger as well.
Very true. Now, as you can see around here, we have these things. Let's shoot forward, and I'm going to use this as an opportunity to blow more things up. So I'm going to drop this bomb down there.
I love how this looks like a theme park.
Yes.
It's so good.
All theme parks should have explosives.
And actually in the distance there we can see being watched.
Oh yeah, I see.
Oh.
I'll be there in a second, dude. I've got stuff to do. So I really love this part. I'm gonna jump up here. And you mentioned theme park. We're about to go for a ride.
Oh. No
There are
whiplash. Success.
Yes. There are probably better ways to get that treasure chest, but no, there aren't. That's the way to get that treasure chest.
And I can't imagine a way that's more fun, really, than just getting
Yes. And I got a really nice bow out of it. That's gonna come in handy later.
So like Sam was talking about earlier, where there's a lot of shrines, and it's really interesting to see like, Anuma-san saying, and Bill talking about how this was related to the art style was Japanese anime, and the number of shrines that are in here, it's pretty similar to like how many temples there are in Japan. So it's really interesting to see that
I was gonna
comparison.
shoot myself,
But
but
it's definitely cool having all these sacred sites all over the world to find. And I've actually been trying to figure out, with all the constellation motif that we see in the shrines here, if you're outside on a really clear night and you look up in the sky, I've been trying to figure out whether or not I can find those same constellations up in the sky, but you get a really beautiful look at the stars if you get a clear night outside.
It's true, it's gorgeous when it changes from day to night and the different weather. So, we finally made it to the end here. I'm sorry about blowing up your home. I didn't mean to. I think he understands, though. He's an understanding guy.
He's got that smirk on his face like, I know what you've done.
Back in his day, he would have done the same thing. But we got our second spirit orb.
Oh, we should also talk about like the difference between dungeons and shrines, because they're not one and the same in this game.
That's true. They're not. Shrines are supplementary to dungeons. I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, as Sam mentioned, there are a ton of shrines, like over 100 shrines. There are so many that there's gonna be a little sprinkling of things to do on your experience. But yes, there are dungeons in the sense that Zelda fans are used to.
Exactly.
All right, we got our spirit orb.
And I've got to ask,
success.
we're close to running out of time, but is there anything you want to try the bombs out on out in the world before we wrap up?
I used myself to blow up that wall, but if I hadn't, I could have actually bombed that wall to have an easy way out.
I wonder if we should try rolling some bombs down some hills.
Ooh,
See how
that's
that goes.
always a good idea.
Or try where Chico didn't succeed at rolling at some bokoblin camps.
You know I'm always game to blow up bokoblin. Oh, they're
hi.
scary. No, should I? I should. Yes.
Nice.
I just blew them up. It gave me more joy than it probably should have.
I gotta say, there's something kind of tragic and poignant about these runes. Just imagining how beautiful they would
Did
have been.
someone live? That's not okay. It's not okay, is it? Hey, buddy.
He's got a friend.
Let's be friends. Oh, I don't want to be your friend. You're not very bombable.
Well, as you are wrapping this up, I think it's about all the time we've got.